Hey, good morning. Good Sunday morning to everyone. I've got my reading glasses on so I can actually read comments as they come in without having to struggle. So, welcome everybody on this Sunday morning sprints. And it is very cool to be here with you all on a Sunday morning. A little early, maybe, but I actually usually wake up on Sundays pretty early in the morning. They say a lot of because I have to deal with migraines. Then a lot of the migraine books say if one of the ways to help avoid migraines is to keep a consistent schedule, and that means like waking up every single day at the same time in the morning, even if it's not to wake up like later on the weekends and all that kind of stuff. So that's what I try to do. So I'm usually up pretty early. So we've got a couple people in here. Let me first start the timer. I'm using a different timer this time because the other timer that I was using, there we go. The other timer that I was using was loading really slowly, and I'm like, yeah, we don't want that. So we'll see how this works. I have no idea what the alarm sounds like, so we'll see. It's hopefully not going to be too obnoxious. So first of all, let us know what you're working on for this morning. And let's see who we have here. What wonderful people. Hello, Callan the Mavis. That's awesome that you are joining us. I'm going to use this stream to translate a short book of mine. Excellent. Very excellent. And is it translating to like a different language? Is that what you mean by translating? If so, that is very, very cool that you can translate your book in another language and not have to have like a translator doing it. Hello, Elizabeth. Wonderful to have you with us. Callan says, good morning, Elizabeth. How are you? Yes, how are you doing, Elizabeth? Wonderful. Yes, we're getting some of the chats here. Okay. I thought the first minute was going to be 5 minutes long. No, this is just like, kind of getting everybody in for those, 5 minutes. And then, because if I don't set a timer, I'll be babbling for like, 50 minutes. So I don't want to do that. So that's why I put the timer on. Okay. So just few housekeeping stuff. We are going for 4 20-minute sprints where you can do writing stuff, non-writing stuff. And then we'll have 5-minute breaks in between, and we can just chat during the 5 minutes. You can get up, get a bio break, get a snack, get coffee, whatever you want to do. I'll definitely be getting coffee when we start the sprint. It's already sitting there on my counter waiting for me. And so basically that's kind of what the way that these sprints work. I will be working on my revision outline for book 3 of my upcoming series next year. And it's not exactly, I finished the first draft this week, which is really, really cool. Could not have done it without all the lovely ladies who were doing sprints. So thank you, all the lovely ladies, including you, Elizabeth, for that. So now I'm kind of working on the pre outline stage, where I was working this week on going over like notes that I made in Trello, note cards that I made in Trello as I was writing the draft, and kind of noting, tweaking and noting what chapters, like, because a lot of things are going to change for this revision for this book. And now I'm working on doing some researching that I did not do before the first draft. That was a big mistake. So I'll be doing a little bit of research, and then I'll be going into the outline. So, okay. Yes, I have to translate a book. Okay, from English to my mother tongue. Beautiful. My mom asked me to do it because we might publish the book in my motherland. That is beautiful. That is awesome. That is so, so awesome. Wonderful. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. Elizabeth says, I'm working on cutting finicky material for the first hour. Yes. Reading over my draft during the second. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Cutting finicky material for me, I call it cutting out the flab because, and I know maybe flab is not, like a PC word, but seriously, my drafts are like really super, super, always super flabby, which is why they end up, so long. I've got like 116,000 words for this first draft, and it's a cozy mystery, so God help me. But I know that probably at least about 15 to 20K of those words are probably going to be cut out by the final draft. And that's standard for me. That's standard for me. So I tend to put a lot of flab in the first drafts. So say you finishing first drafts. Yes, thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you. Yes, yeah. It was a struggle. This first draft was a struggle because I had a lot going on with personal stuff and financial stuff for this year, and so I wasn't as focused as I wanted to be. So it was definitely a struggle to get through this first draft, and I didn't prepare the way that I usually like to prepare, which is one of the reasons why it's going to have to be, completely rewritten during Nano. So Constance, thank you, Callan. Thank you so much. Yeah, I meant the material for my skirt. Whoops. Well, you know what? It's like it's hey, writing can be like other things, but yeah. Okay, so now I have to go back to what your comment and put it into context. Okay, so she said, "Oh, okay, so that's what it sounds like. Okay, it's not that loud." I'm working on cutting finicky material for the first hour, finicky material for the skirt, reading over my oh, okay, and then reading over my draft. Yeah, I know what happened there. I did one of those like stupid associations where I said, okay, finicky material has to relate to the draft, but it doesn't. It relates to this beautiful skirt that you are making. Okay, I forgot both things are called material. Yeah. Yeah, well, it's me because it's these I made these like weird associations. So, I hope to be able to do nano this year. Awesome. It depends if we're on distance education this semester. Yeah, so far we are not. Okay. I totally get yes. Yes, totally get that because it's like it's really I think difficult to do nano when you've got like so many other so many other stuff going on, and when you've got like studies and you have to face to face studies, yeah, it's definitely tough. Okay, so let's get started here with our first sprint. So let me take that one off, and we are going to go for 20 minutes. Okay. Put the timer on for 20 minutes and get that up there. Okay, wonderful. Okay, something here did not work for me. 20 hours. Oh, geez, no. Okay. No, we do not want 20 hours. Okay, there we go. Sorry, y'all. I'm just, what is that? Okay. This is what happens when you have to work with like a newcomer. Okay. There we go. Okay. And then we'll set like an extra couple of seconds. There we go. Okay, so hopefully this is going to work. Okay, 20 minutes on the clock for whatever you want to do, writing, non writing. We are here to support you, give you a thumbs up, and I will see you all in 20 minutes. that is our first sprint done, and it looks like we've had some people join us. So welcome, welcome to everyone who has joined us. And let us know in the comments if what you're working on. Also, let us know how you did with Double Down Day. If you were a part of, if you attended sprints in Double Down Day yesterday, what did you get done? And what did you get done for this sprint? So I started sorry, my brain is just like, still slowly working this early on a Sunday morning. I started working on researching the murder weapon for my historical cozy mystery. And I changed this murder weapon. This was one of the mistakes that I made with this book. I didn't really research it enough. When I started the book, I just kind of had this vague impression of what I wanted the weapon to be, and I didn't really research it enough. And so basically what happened is, as I was writing through the book, I figured out, it's not going to work. And so I said, okay, I'm going to do this. And in part of the book, I changed it. And then I'm like, oh, okay, no, this isn't going to work either. So then I changed it again, and I changed it, I think, like 5 or 6 times. So now I think that I have the murder weapon that I need. And so I'm just kind of researching it just to make sure that that's actually what I want it to be. So let me put the timer back on. So we're going to do 5 minutes. Let's start the timer. This is a different timer for those who just joined, a different timer than I usually use, because when I tried to use the one that I usually use, it was going slow on me, and I didn't want that to happen when we're doing sprints. So let's see. Just kind of scrolling through. Okay, Elizabeth says it's all good. You've no idea how many times I've done that. Yes, yeah. Make it. That's me making associations that I should not have made with something that Elizabeth said. So, welcome, Alexandra. Love from Germany. Well, love from the United States to you too. From Texas, actually, for me. So. Only got 15 minutes in, but 341 words. That is excellent. That is excellent for 15 minutes. And we are very, very glad that you are here with us. Kellen says, okay, I think I have about 20 more chapters to translate. Okay. I have a book of 50 short stories that contain only one sentence. That is interesting. That is so interesting. So it's not, so it sounds like it's a lot. 20 chapters, but some of those chapters are really, really short. I got it. So that's wonderful, though. Alexandra says, I more than double my word count. Awesome. Which is normally 22K tops. That is great. That is great. But still didn't finish my short story. That's okay. So I want to do that today. Thanks for helping me. You are most welcome. Yeah, I totally know how that feels like, when you're kind of getting the words in, but you don't quite finish the story. I was totally in that situation earlier this week where I really kind of had a deadline to finish the novel that I was writing. And I had about I think 5 chapters, something like that. And I really wanted to finish it before Preptober started. And so I was just kind of that's why I was doing so many sprints with everybody. I was just kind of really cramming to get that done. And it's always like this point where it's like, I'm getting all these words in, but the damn thing isn't finished. So I totally get that. I totally get that. And I actually attended one of Rhiannon's live owl sprints, which I usually don't do because they're usually too late for me. But I attended that on Tuesday because I was so close to finishing that novel. And I'm like, I really want to finish this, So I said, okay, I've got to do a sprint to do that. So I totally get it. Count says, I didn't have Wi-Fi. Sorry. Oh, duh, I don't have my reading glasses on. That's why I can't see. There we go. Okay. I didn't have Wi-Fi till today. From Thursday till today. So I couldn't do much, sadly. Oh, I totally get it. It's like, we rely technology. Love it when it works, but when it doesn't work, it's like the world falls apart. I totally get it. I totally get it. Well, I hope you got a lot of like non-Wi-Fi stuff in, like reading and stuff like that. That's what I do when like my Wi-Fi isn't working. It's like I just go and I'm like, okay, I'm just, gonna catch up on my reading. Ken says, in fact, I still have like a crap ton of homework. Oh, I need to finish for next week. So I use the next sprints to finish my homework so that I have less to do tomorrow in the library before my classes. Yes, definitely. Yeah, yeah. It kind of sucks to do homework on like a Sunday, but I cannot count how many times I did that when I was doing my master's. So I totally get that. It also says I spent DDD building my social media stuff. Excellent. Made a ton of graphics, scheduled a bajillion posts, etc. That's great. Then read 12 chapters of my work in progress. Wow, 12 read through 12 chapters. That is, Elizabeth, that is amazing because for me, it takes me like so long to get through a chapter. So if you got through 12 chapters, that is awesome. Only one pattern piece left. Wonderful, wonderful. You got a lot done. You got a lot done for Double Down Day. So good for you. University sucks. 0 out of 10. Well, but how long do you have left to do though? I mean, how many years or how many semesters do you have left to do? Because if you're toward the end, it's like there is a light at the end of the tunnel. So Elizabeth says, yes. Hey, Alexandra. Yes. Let's see. Hello, Juanita. Juanita's Creative Corner. I love that. I love that. User. I love that. God, what do you call it? It just went out of my mind. I love it, though. I love it. Good morning. I just woke up. My double down day started with the best of intentions. Enough said. Yeah. Well, you know what, though? If you had the best of intentions, that's still good. That's still good because you start out with the best of intentions, and that is awesome. That is excellent. Okay, let me just get through a few more comments and then we're going to go for sprint number 2. Colin says, good morning. Yes to Juanita. That is awesome. Juanita says, need coffee. Oh, I totally get it. I got my coffee. I got my coffee and I got it in my first line mug. So I'll probably be posting during next, or I'll be talking about next break. I'll see if I can pull one of these lines. There's actually a line. There's actually something like here on the bottom, and I was gonna like tag it and see if I could get it. And it's oh no, you all, it's the answer key. It's the answer key on the bottom. So it's like all of this stuff that's here. We got the answer key on the bottom. I did not know that. Okay, wow. Okay, but it's much funner to look it up on Google. So. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, Con says, I started reading a book at least. Well, that's good. That's awesome. That's excellent. Let's see. Okay. Oh, what was Double Down Day actually? Excellent question. Excellent question. And you know what, Kellen? I don't want to take too much of the sprint time, so I will answer that question during the next sprint. I will answer that question during the next sprint. But, well, maybe I'll answer it now, like really, really quick. Double Down Day is basically with the Heart Breathings group, which I think that you are a part of. If you're not, if you're on YouTube, check out the comments below because I've got a link to the group. It is a wonderful group to join if you're on Facebook. And Double Down Day is when you take kind of what you usually do. So it might be what you're working on, could be writing, could also be non-writing, and just kind of double what your usual goal is. So for example, if you write, let's say 1,000 words a day, usually you're working on a first draft and usually write 1,000 words a day, then for the first Saturday of each month, it was just when we do Double Down Days, you can double that and you can say, I'm going to challenge myself to double that and do 2,000 words. And what we do in the group is we do Sprints pretty much every 2 hours. I don't do sprints on that day, but there are other lovely ladies like Elizabeth who does sprints on that day. So kind of that's what when it happens. So if you're in the group, you can just kind of watch. It's usually in the banner, in the group banner, like what date it's going to be, and then just kind of keeping an eye out. But it's the first. No, I'm sorry. It's the first Saturday of every month. So 2 more years. Okay, 2 more years. Well, you'll get there. You'll get there. You will get there. Okay. And you know what? I think I've been babbling a little bit too much, so I will get to the rest of the comments, I promise, during the next break. So let's get started with this is number 2. This is sprint number 2, 20 minutes, whatever y'all got to do, writing, non writing. We're here to support you. I will see you all in 20 minutes. Okay, that may have been a bit loud. It's short, but it's loud. So we are now into our second hour of sprints. Let me put the timer on so I don't babble too much for you all. And my apologies that I did not get to the comments before, but I promise I will get to them now. So let's see where I left off and let us know how you all did and how it went for this sprint. Okay, yes. Colin says this year and next year, and she also says I don't know whether to get my master's. To be honest, yeah, I totally get that. Totally get that. Yeah, and and maybe you can get this degree and then take a little bit of a break, maybe go out into the workforce and then decide if you want to do that. I just want to work and do other stuff. I know that feeling. I know that feeling totally. Yeah. And that's actually what I did with when I went, because I went from my master's to starting a PhD program. And then I figured out that, I just wanted to work. So Elizabeth says yes, hello to Juanita's Creative Corner. Yes, great start. Juanita says, I am in the Heart Breathings group. Awesome. Awesome. Wonderful. And yes, so this is the first Saturday of every month. Okay, yes, 2 hours of sprints, 1 a.m., 9, 1, 5, and 9. Yes, you got it exactly, Elizabeth. Thank you so much for filling that in. Heart Breathings also does, a virtual writing retreat, right. Third weekend of every month, lasts 3 days. Yes, it lasts 3 days. And the longest gap between sprints is from 9, to 11 is 3 hours. So yes, right. Yeah, we've also got the retreat every third weekend, which is really, really cool. Okay, I finished translating. Awesome. And I did some other stuff. I'm going to start doing homework for next sprints. Excellent. And Elizabeth says, finished cutting my skirt pattern, beautiful out, and cleared off my desk. That is awesome. That is awesome. I hope you show us a picture of the pattern that you cut out during one of your sprints. I would love to see it. So we've got 3 minutes, and I promised you all a quote from my cup. So this is just like first line quotes, and we always try to kind of identify where from what book this comes from. If you need to Google it, that is totally fine. This is just for fun. This is not a test. So let me see what I'm going to give all of you. I was looking at one the last time. Okay, I already did that one. See. Here we go. Okay. It was a bright, cold day in April, and the clocks were striking 13. So let me read that again. It was a bright, cold day in April, and the clocks were striking 13. Okay, so I think I know where this is from. But, if you want to put in the chat where you might think it's from, or you can Google it also, that is totally cool. It's gray. That's it. Okay. You know what? But gray is nice. I'm a really solid color type of person. I don't go for too many pastels and stuff like that. With a shimmery gray lining. Ooh, it sounds beautiful. Sounds familiar. Yeah, I feel like I've heard that. Have you really? Oh, okay. Is this so is it coming from a certain place, Elizabeth, or have you just talked about it before? For me, it's the first time I'm hearing it. So, but it's cool. It's cool. What I got done during that sprint is doing more research and also going back into notes that I made about changes that I'm going to make, because of course, the murder weapon in a mystery is a huge thing. And so it affects a lot of the, kind of like scenes that go back. So I'm slowly kind of figuring out stuff and figuring out how I'm going to shape a little bit more with this novel. Because usually, I had it planned, and I wrote it the way that I had planned, but It's kind of like I found out there were a lot of kinks here and there as I was writing the story, and that's okay. And that's okay. Juanita says, oh, okay. Yeah, Juanita says, oh, she's okay. Juanita, you were talking about the quote. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about Elizabeth's skirt. Sorry about that. I sometimes really mess up um, um, with context. Okay, is it Moby Dick? It's the first line of a famous book. Yeah, maybe The Tale of Two Cities. Okay. Yes, I am not sure if it's Moby Dick or Tale of Two Cities, but I'll tell you what, if somebody wants to look it up on Google, you're certainly welcome to do that. If not, then for next break, I will look it up. And before next break, I'll look it up and I'll let you all know. So, but I think those are two great possibilities: Moby Dick or Tale of Two Cities. So great guesses, great guesses. Okay. Um, so you mean I actually put the right banner up? Amazing. Or I probably did not put the right banner up, but I just like forgot to put the banner I should have put up the last time. But anyway, so we're going, so we're going, me babbling. So we're going into our second hour of sprints, and we're going for 20 minutes on the clock, whatever you need to do: writing, revising, editing, homework, getting breakfast, getting coffee, whatever you need to do. We are here to support you. I will see you all in 20 minutes. Okay, sorry about that, everybody. I was kind of in the middle of making a note for one of my chapters. It's kind of those things where like one thing leads to another kind of thing. So I got an idea for a revision, and so I was just kind of taking notes. So let's set the timer for our 5 minutes. How did you all do? And what did you all get done? Let us know if you would like. I certainly am not going to force anybody to tell us what you did or if you got anything done, because sometimes we don't get something that's really done. Maybe we're distracted by something, or we go on Facebook because our mind needs a rest, and that's totally fine. That's totally fine. So just before I forget, so let's get into the sprint schedule for the next couple of days. And this is all happening. Some of it's happening on YouTube. Some of it's happening on, or most of it is happening also on the HB Heart Breathing's Word Sprint Challenges group. Again, if you're on YouTube, the link is in the comments. If you haven't joined that group yet, it's a wonderful group to be a part of. So Monday, Caitlin is back with us early in the morning. She does 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 4 a.m. Central Time sprints. So she does sprints for anybody who is she does times that are good for people who are outside of the U.S. as well, but also in the U.S. if you're the kind of person who gets up really early. And then our Angela is back at 9 a.m. EST, 8 a.m. CST. So she'll be doing sprints a couple of hours after that. And then in the evening, we have Lisa coming up. She's 9 to 11 Eastern Standard Time PM, 8 to 10 Central Standard Time PM. So we've got a couple of sprints going there. And I forgot to mention, Caitlin is on Facebook and YouTube, I believe. Angela, I think, is also now on also Facebook and YouTube. And Lisa is also on Facebook and YouTube. So you got your choice there. So Tuesday, we've got Caitlin again at 5 a.m. EST, 4 a.m. CST. Elizabeth is going to be on at 9 a.m. EST, 8 a.m. CST. Elizabeth, if you're still with us, I've got down here that you're YouTube only, but I think you're doing now YouTube and Facebook as well, right? So I think. Diane is also going to be on at 2 o'clock in the afternoon EST, 1 o'clock CST. Diane, I think, is also now YouTube and Facebook. I'm not sure. She may still just be YouTube. And then Lisa will be back on Tuesday night at 9 a.m. EST PM and 8 a.m. CST. So as you all can see, we have a very robust schedule for sprints, so you can get anything you want to get done. Okay, so let's take a look at, let's see. Yes, so before we went on break, Juanita identified the line for us, which is from Orwell's 1984. And I got to tell you all, I got this wrong because I thought it was from Anthony Burgess's A Clockwork Orange, because I saw the clock there. And I thought, oh, okay, it's got to be from Clockwork Orange. But no, it's definitely from Orwell's 1984. Callan says, wait, Google says it's from George Orwell's, 1984, which is so weird because I thought the first line was about Winston Smith, who had to study an extract from 1984 last year. I see. And Juanita says that was 1949, according to Google. Yes. And I think the story goes is that, yes, it was published in 1949, but he wrote the book in 1948, and it's called 1984 because he switched, it's one of these futuristic books, I think, dystopian, I think, and he switched the numerals, 48 to 84. So that's why it's 1984, which I think is like really, really cool. I love stories behind titles. Wrote in 1949. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I still have 6 or 7 more verbs to conjugate in Russian. Yee. and then I have to finish some exercises. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I have heard that Russian verb conjugations can be very, very challenging. So we wish you a lot of luck with that. Alexandra says my Facebook froze again. Oh no! I'm just taking off and I'm putting on my glasses. So I wrote right through, but that was a good thing. But the good thing is I finished the story. That's awesome! Yay! Now I have to shorten it so that it fits the rules of the anthology. Yes. Yes. Please don't talk to me about shortening stories because that is exactly where I am going to be as well. So, and I don't even want to think about it right now. Hello, Christine. I jumped in 14 minutes left. Again, got 300 words. That's awesome. I'm writing by hand this morning. That is great, especially if you're writing by hand. Because I know that when I write by hand, I definitely write much slower. But that is awesome and welcome. Juanita says, I usually catch the 9 to 11 sprints. That's great. Only where I am at 6 to 8. Okay. Yeah. See, yeah, 6 o'clock. Yeah. For me, I'm central time. So it's 8 o'clock at night. So it's a little bit, unless you're talking about Angela's 9 to 11 sprints, in which case, if you're getting up at 6 a.m. to sprint, that is terrific. That is terrific. Elizabeth says YouTube and Facebook now stepped away from the computer. Okay, but great. Okay, so Elizabeth, yes, Elizabeth is also on Facebook and YouTube. That's awesome. I think Brandy and Tracy are only on YouTube only. Yes, I think you're right. I think you're right, Elizabeth. Yeah, it's only Brandy who does a couple of mornings a week for us. Toward the end of the week, she's awesome. She has a lot of wonderful cats, and then the lovely Tracy who does afternoon, and I think she does one evening sprint later in the week. Right, she's also only on YouTube. Okay. Angela's Facebook only. Okay. Okay. Yes, Facebook only. Okay. Yeah. Because I thought, right. Okay. Right. Right. Yeah. For some reason, I thought that Angela started doing Facebook and YouTube, and then she went back, and then she did YouTube last week because in Streamline, her time ran out. So it's y'all, I'm just complicating everything. I'm sorry. The rest of us post them both. Yes. Okay. And Callan says, yep, dystopian. Yeah, it's dystopian fiction, right? 1984. Some verbs are super easy to conjugate, but there are certain verbs that are so stupid. Well, if we're talking about a language that is so confusing and has like no sense at all, let's talk about English. So, but we won't talk about English. Oh, how beautiful. Hello. Is it love? Is it love or love? Please let me know if I'm pronouncing that right. If it's love, which is a beautiful way to pronounce it. Hello. So glad that you are joining us. You are just in time for our last sprint. And Elizabeth said she ran out of free hours. Right. And StreamYard. Right. And Facebook Live is too hard to figure out. It is a challenge to figure out. So, but that's what we're doing. We're figuring the stuff out for y'all so we can give you all the best sprints that we can. And Juanita says, nope, the revised writer, yeah, Little Forest Homes and Rhiannon are all sprints right. Right. I normally seem to find. Okay, that's awesome. Wonderful. Well, I hope, Juanita, that you find the rest of our sprints as well. So we're happy to have you here. Alex says, I think English is very easy to learn. I have absolute respect for people who learn German. Yes, German. Yeah, German is also a challenge. German is a challenge, but so is English. And when we finish our next sprint, I can tell you exactly why that is. Juanita says, I have found Elizabeth a lot recently too. Yes. And yes, Brandy's the unorganized writer, right? And Caitlin writes. Yes. Thank you, Elizabeth. You know what, Elizabeth? I think we need to make a list of like all the YouTube names and make sure that we get them all right. Love says it's 10:39 here in the Philippines. Wow, you're in the Philippines. That is so awesome. That is so awesome. We are so happy that you're here. And I am going to get started with this last sprint of the morning. So let's put on for 20 minutes. And I think we're going to finish pretty much right at the hour. So I will try not to babble too much afterward for you all because you all are here for the sprints and that's what we're giving you. So 20 minutes, whatever you need to do, let's make these last 20 minutes kick ass. I will see you all in 20 minutes. Woohoo! So that is it. So we are done with sprints for this Sunday morning. And thank you to everyone who has joined me here and who is still here. If you're still here, let us know what you accomplished in this time. And let's see if we've got any awesome comments. Elizabeth says Rhiannon already did it. Okay, there was a pin post. Oh, okay, great. Okay, yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, right. Elizabeth, you're right. Yes. If you want to know where everybody is, all the sprinters are on YouTube, then Rhiannon posted a list of the YouTube channels for all of us sprinters. So you are welcome to hit the like button and subscribe to all of us so you'll know exactly when we have sprints. So Callan said finish conjunctive verbs and great, and finish some other exercises for next week's awesome. At least I think they're for next week. Well, if they're not for next week, then they are for some weeks. So so you're ahead. There you go. Elizabeth says, did some reading. That is awesome. Juanita says, oh my, the main character just realized that he is stuck in the middle of a battle about to start between a drug cartel and crime ring. Ooh, that is going to be a sticky one to get out of. I cannot wait to hear how you get this main character out of it. But those are when like the fun, writing stuff come up. So I finished some homework, did some other stuff, and translated my mini book, which my mom approved of. That's awesome. That is awesome. So you got a lot done. That is so cool. That is so cool. We need an artist to draw some drawings for the book, and I'll make a book cover in my mother tongue. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. That is wonderful. So you're like really, at the final stages of the publishing process. That is so cool. I usually have them in my description as well. Oh, that's awesome. Yes. You know what? And Elizabeth, I should do that. I should add that to my descriptions as well. So thank you for reminding me. Ken says, who's joining author and Sophie's stream later on? Ooh, that I have not heard of. If you've got the link with you, then, definitely post it for us. And you know what, Callan, I was going to say something really quick because I know we're over time. But I wanted to say something really quick because you were talking about, kind of like the Russian language and conjugating the verbs and stuff like that. And I was talking about, if we're talking about a messy language, we're talking English. So I used to, I went to the university in Israel. And when I went, just at that time, there was a huge influx of Russian immigrants coming into Israel, and a lot of them studied, or there were a lot who studied with me because we studied English literature. And I caught one of them on the bus once. And I asked her, and I was really curious because I know for me learning Hebrew was a challenge because Hebrew is a completely, it's a different alphabet. It's a different, you read from right to left instead of left to right. So it's a completely different thing. So I asked her, what was more challenging for you to learn? Was it more challenging for you to learn in English? Because all of the reading material and the courses were in English. So, she had to know English really well. Or was Hebrew more difficult for you to learn? And she said, definitely English, because she said in Hebrew, there are rules, grammar rules that are fairly consistent. And there are some exceptions, but not that many. But English is just all over the place. There's so many exceptions that it's just really, it just made it a challenge to learn. And then later when I taught English as a foreign language to business professionals, then they told me the same thing as well. So, we think English, I think, because so many of us are born with it, or it's our first language, in some way that it's easier. But for many people, it isn't. So Han says the book has already been published. Oh, okay, in English. My mom thinks the book could be sold. It was sold better in our motherland. That's why I have to translate it. That's awesome. That is wonderful. Wonderful. Having it like in two countries. Yes. So I wish you so much luck with that. And it's wonderful that you have your mom's that your mom is supporting you. Excellent says I managed to cut down my word count. That is great. To barely under the maximum. Yay! That's a big thing. That's a huge thing. That's a really huge thing. Alexandra says Hebrew's fascinating. Yes, but I don't think it could. It could. I really need to put my glasses on, y'all. Okay, but I don't think I could learn it. Okay, I love grammar. I really do, but the different alphabet would throw me. It takes some time to learn. It definitely takes some time to learn. And so I started saying English when I was 5, so I've always found it easy. That's awesome. But my peers seem to find it, yeah, difficult. Most of them have started studying at age 7 or yeah, it is. It is difficult. It's definitely challenging language because, so many different groups came in and added their little thing to it. So that's why it's just kind of like a mishmash. So wonderful. Okay. So thank you everyone for joining me this Sunday morning. It has been awesome. I will be back on Friday afternoon. So I hope you all join me. But in the meantime, we've got sprints going on later today. Also, I forgot to mention Tracy has a sprint going on. I think it's at 3 p.m. EST time. She is on YouTube. So anybody, and thank you so much again for joining me. Have a wonderful, wonderful, restful Sunday.